Hi everyone, today I'm doing a Scorpio Capricorn compatibility. This was asked by YouTube user Kelsey Cat. Okay, well, the relationship starts off a bit like a standoff. It's like, due to the Capricorn being so cautious and Scorpio being mysterious, it kind of makes sense. With the way in which the relationship usually begins, it's a case of it tends not to begin in most cases at all. It can be a very difficult relationship in emotional terms, as the Capricorn is able to detach emotion better than the Scorpio, which can make the Scorpio feel a lot less valued due to this emotional detachment. This doesn't mean that the emotion isn't present, don't get me wrong. It just means that effectively the Capricorn is being very protective of itself and being cautious. This is likely why Capricorn tends to avoid making emotional chances in relationships and thus detaching the emotion when they feel unsure about something. Due to the nature of both signs, well, if they work together towards a goal, there's a high chance of it being accomplished. That means if they do actually want something together, they can work together with it due to the Capricorn being very much into the physical, financial side of things and able to work out what physically needs to be done, such as materials and such, and the Scorpio being emotionally strong and able to adapt to the situation at hand. It can make, say for example, if they both seek to find love within each other, they will be able to find a much easier path due to the way in which they talk. They can actually communicate in that sense and find a way forwards, in the sense that the Capricorn will deal with the physical side of things more than the Scorpio would, whereas the Scorpio would deal with the emotional and spiritual side of things. In the relationship, both partners can maintain the romance while being able to work together, so once you get past the veil towards the actual romantic relationship, where you're actually working together quite well, you can even get into a business relationship with your partner, which is something very few relationships can manage, really, especially with other signs. Due to the physical, logical state of the Capricorn, it can make Scorpio feel like romance is difficult. As I've mentioned earlier, with the whole emotional detachment, they can get rid of that and become purely logical in the sense of, well, everything that is physically there is more important to what is emotionally there. However, with this sort of organises physical train of thought, it can make the physical aspects of the relationship interesting. In other words, well, if you save it for the bedroom sort of thing, then you can be quite surprised what could happen. But it's not just that, it's a case of there's more romantic side of things, such as the kissing, the hugging, and such as that. So obviously that is a good side to it. Obviously it kind of makes up for the emotional caution until much later on down the line. This does not mean that Capricorn will likely be there all the time, because they tend to be very much into their work. They are workaholics. Once they start something, they will try to finish everything, and if they find something else, and that's it, it'll just keep going and going. So this is advice for Scorpios in particular, if they tend to stay at work quite a lot, don't get paranoid, because Scorpio will get paranoid. Just find out, make sure that obviously they're happy with everything, and obviously tell them how you're feeling, and it's likely things will change for the better, rather than you getting suspicious, thinking something wrong's going on, and, well, potentially ruining the relationship. Scorpio can frighten a Capricorn, sorry about that. This is due to the intensity of the Scorpio, their emotional sense, and the way they can be quite hostile in some cases. This is especially since they need a lot of attention to their needs, their emotional needs in particular, which Capricorn, as I said before, usually detaches. again, due to the caution, it's probably a better idea to let go of caution and jump in and actually, well, communicate. It's a bit difficult, really, but you'll be able to get somewhere if you at least put your foot forward. With Capricorn as well, with this caution thing, it can cause you to distance Scorpio, which is not a good idea, because if you make them distant, then they will likely react in a very negative way. Unless, of course, they truly understand what's going on, and that you're more focused on certain things at that time. As a whole, the relationship can work, but it does require a lot of work. So, if you really want it to work, it can be fantastic. But it's a case of, once you both pass the threshold towards the commitment stages of the relationship, you'll find that there's no stopping either of you. You'll both be absolutely fantastic with each other, and you'll be able to keep within your goals and be able, well, the Capricorn will actually be less cautious, and the Scorpio will be a lot more fulfilled and understanding of such things. You would both do good to understand each other and pay attention, otherwise the relationship will collapse. So, my advice really to you guys is work at it a lot. Make sure you understand each other and make sure you bring that relationship inwards so that you can understand the Capricorn will work a lot and will probably distance, and Scorpio does need the emotional attachment at some point. You need to make sure things are comfortable and that you communicate. As with most relationships, communication is rather important. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.